welcome back to another makeup counter video. I'm so excited. I'm loving doing these. Today we're going to be going to the Marc Jacobs counter at Harvey Nichols. I know that Nikki Tutorials also works really closely with them, like she's like an ambassador. So I don't know, I have high hopes, but in all honesty, all I've really used is eyeliners and the glitter foiled eyeshadows and a highlighter. And that collection they don't even have anymore. Anyways, let's actually roll the clips and make our way into London.
So casually keep diving into concrete, so bittersweet, huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean.
I've just arrived at the Marc Jacobs counter and I have my lovely makeup artist here, Lorenzo.
Hi there, how's it going?
It's going to be making me look a whole lot better than this. Right, let's begin.
Okay, so he kick-started off with cleansing the skin, making sure there was no dirt or residue left on there, and then went in with this moisturizer, which actually smelled beautiful and absorbed into the skin incredibly fast. I was really impressed with that moisturizer. As for primers, he actually done a little bit of a mixture. So he used one on the center of the face, on the outer perimeter, and then also took this illuminator one here. As you can see, it was a really gorgeous color, and then just popped that onto the parts that he wanted to pop or, you know, add more light to, kind of similar to the strobing sort of method. Now for the base, he didn't want to use a foundation. He decided to go in with a concealer that matched my skin, then went in with a lighter shade and put that on the areas that he wanted to lift, and this is what it was looking like. Honestly, I think it looked gorgeous. And then he took a much lighter shade and just used that for highlighting purposes, and as you can see, his application was a much smaller amount, much more smaller, you know what I'm saying. Basically, he didn't put as much on with the lighter shade. Now he used one of the newer highlighters, which is limited edition. Often Marc Jacobs does bring out limited edition products, and at that time this was one of them, and popped that onto the cheeks first. Now for bronzer, if you look, he swipes it along and then brushes it upwards very lightly, and I just wanted to show this method. He did it so lightly and it looked really nice, looked really light and gorgeous on the skin. Then he took this loose powder and just pressed that onto the skin and wherever he wanted to set in place. He grabbed a much smaller brush and was just a little bit more precise with where he wanted to put that powder. He moved on to the lips, which at first I was like, oh my god, that's so weird. I've never had anyone do my lips before they do my eyes before. It was really weird, but I actually liked the way he overlined the lips. And then he decided to use a gold sort of glossy lip gloss and then moved on to the eyes. Now for the eyes, as you can see, he decided to use these pencils. He told me that they're really creamy, they blend out well, and he just enjoys making his own mixture with them. So of course, you know, I trusted his opinion because he works with these products all the time. And as you can see, he took that darker shade and then started smudging it in with the golden sort of color. And then once he was happy with smudging that out, he then added the darker shade onto the outer corner of the bottom lash line and then smudged that out as well. Now this product here is one of Marc Jacobs sequins. Now this year they brought it out and last year they did, and oh my god, I still kept the ones from last year because I thought they were so freaking gorgeous. They really are a star product and I just love them. So anyway, he popped a little bit of that onto the lid and then he went in with the Marc Jacobs mascara primer, and then also of course went in with the mascara just to go on top of that and really amp up the lashes, make them look a little bit fuller. Then this is the look that Lorenzo created for that more sort of everyday kind of vibe that has a little bit of shimmer on the eyes and it's not too dramatic. Then he wanted to amp it up by creating a really intense wing. So he started off with gold so you could lightly see it at the top, and then went in with the black liquid liner and started thickening that out and connecting it to the bottom using the cream pencil. And then he actually decided to go in and smudge it out a little bit, as you guys can see him doing there, and then bringing it into the crease as well.
So I'm actually in front of the flash ring. I'm going to show you all of this when we get outside, and I'm going to leave Lorenzo's Instagram in the down bar as well.
Thank you. Ciao guys.
Bye. I've just left the makeup counter and I wanted to show you it in broad daylight. Bearing in mind it's actually quite a nice clear sky today, but colours sometimes just don't show up as much as you'd want them to. But when we get back and I show you in studio lighting, you'll be able to see everything up close and personal. But this is what we're working with outside in broad daylight. Here's the skin, these are the cheeks, this is the lips, and then these are the eyes. The eyebrows haven't been done because Marc Jacobs don't actually have any brow products, so these are just natural, so don't judge these because they haven't been done. We're gonna go home now and I'll show you guys in the next clip what everything looks like, so see you in the next clip. It's so cold. today just to get to freaking Knightsbridge. In total, we've done how many buses? 2 buses, 3 trains technically, and 4 tubes. And when you're not feeling that well, it takes it out of you. Let's talk about what I asked for and what I'm thinking of it. Okay, straight off the bat from looking in the viewfinder, I do look uber shiny right now. Now, when he first put on those concealers and made his own little mix, I personally thought the skin looked gorgeous, radiant, really fresh, and I was really impressed with it. However, right now, it has definitely not held up that well. I mean, if I just move my face around, that's just a bit too shiny for my liking. I love a radiant kind of base and that dewy looking skin, but the chin and just along here and in the eyebrows, can you guys see this? You know, it's just a little bit too shiny that it's not holding up the greatest. So I think maybe a little bit more of a pressed powder or something like that on top maybe could have helped these areas just to last a little bit longer. My eyes have not held up whatsoever. In fact, it's separated and it looks like I've worn this makeup all night long and I've come home. I don't know why that is, because when it was first put on, it looked really nice and just glittery and kind of blown out. I do not know why this is not holding up. Is it me? Is it the skin? Is it the weather? Like, what is this? Bear in mind, I just want to point out, every makeup counter is going to have their own style of makeup and their own kind of go-to looks and vibes. And I definitely feel that Marc Jacobs is very much that more kind of like fashion, editorial, style of makeup, especially with like even this wing, for example. This is a pretty dramatic wing, you know. And I did actually say when we arrived, I said, can we walk through a few of your new products and see what you have? And I said to him, I don't want to play safe. I said, because in the past some other makeup counters have played it very, very safe. I said, look, I'm so relaxed, you can go to town on my face and I honestly will not mind. As the look progressed, Lorenzo wanted to do something that was wearable and take it through stages and then add the liner and smoke out the liner, so that those of you who do not want dramatic liner could stop and have the look at that stage. And then he wanted to do something a little bit more intense and smoky, so that it kind of looked like it went in stages. So you got the simple kind of vibe, the glitter and just a smoked out bit of liner, and then you've got the actual winged liner. So that was one thing I wanted to mention, because that's what he said to me, and I want to make sure that I mention what he said because it's his look. The thing I like is how he very lightly bronzed the cheeks and did it in a different kind of motion. And he said instead of tapping the brush, he said put it onto the skin, because that takes off the excess product, but if you tap it, it makes all the product go to the end of the brush. Now this is what he told me. He said he likes to dab it and then apply it, and it just goes kind of nice and light. I honestly just wish this makeup held up a little bit longer, because it hasn't been that long. Don't get me wrong, I've travelled far, but it hasn't been that long. However, I have no control how this makeup is gonna hold up, you know, and this is an important part why I actually show you the makeup when I get home and talk you through what I asked for. And basically what I said for this overall look was, don't play it safe. I want glitter on my eyelids and I want to use those sequins and go wild. And that's exactly what I said. Now it's your time to tell me what you think. Comment down below, start a conversation with me. What are you liking? What are you not liking? And what are your overall thoughts? And also, if there are any star products that you get from Marc Jacobs, please let me know, because they do have that full coverage foundation and they have a little bit more of a sheer one, but I'm a little bit more of that sheer kind of medium girl rather than a full coverage kind of girl when it comes to foundation. So yes, anyways, if there's some star products, definitely let me know, because I know that Nikki Tutorials, as I mentioned, you know, she works with them and she uses their stuff, so I need to explore this brand a little bit more. Thank you for watching. We've completed another makeup counter. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see all you lovely lot in my next video. Take care. Bye. They have so much more of a sofa selection in here. What was that really bad? I have seen one online. Oh my god, I think this is it. This was the one I saw online, but we need to check the materials because that material is ugly. I'm pretty sure this is it. 1,100. Wait, never had a wooden arm. That is not the one then.